What is going on, guys? This is the Triple Thrift Podcast, and welcome to episode 14, where we at the Triple Thrift Podcast talk about reselling, YouTube, things we like to do, and how we are three best friends. So, yeah, my name is Drew. I'm here with Josh, also known as Harry Tornado, and Joey Badabing22, your local mailman. And we just love doing this podcast. We love having fun. And it is actually the opposite of when we normally record. Is super early in the morning for me. So if you hear my voice sound weird, it's because I just recently woke up because Joey and I were up late listing last night, and I'm not a morning person. So this is going to be a fun podcast for me. Josh has been up for like 5 hours. He's recorded a YouTube video. He went to Dream Deals. He's been to the bins. He's listed 12 things.
It's 10:38 in the morning. 10:38. And Drew gets on the podcast and he's like, "Oh, what's up, everybody?" Like rubbing his eyes. I'm like, "What are you? It's 10:38, man. What is this? 10th grade? You know, when you in high school and you'd stay home from sick and you just sleep. Like, I remember one day I slept until 2 p.m. and I felt like garbage for 3 days.
I could agree on that. I could agree 100%.
It feels so good to sleep in, but then like your body just, I don't know. But I don't know how late you were. I went to bed at like 10 last night.
Yeah, I went to bed at like 2:30.
Yeah.
So
we were up until.
But my body's also literally the opposite of you because I've owned multiple businesses before that have like messed up my work hours. Like when I used to own my bread route, which I believe I've mentioned in a couple podcasts, I had to wake up at 2 a.m. and I would finish work by like 10 or 11 a.m. So my schedule was so jacked up from having the bread route because I had to train my body to get up at 2 in the morning for work. And then, you know, with high school and stuff, like you stay up late as a high schooler and then you got to wake up at 5:30 for school in the morning. And like I never got used to high school, you know, when I was like getting into like junior and senior. So sleep schedules have just never been good for me. And like I've also never found like a bed that's comfortable for me. So I don't really sleep good a lot. And we have like a Tempur-Pedic, and it was nice for the first month, and then it was like too soft. I don't know. It's just
you sound picky.
Yeah. Well, I'm not picky. I have mild scoliosis in my back, so it affects my sleep a lot.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's offensive. Then I apologize. I wasn't aware of your medical condition.
No, it's okay. I'm not offended.
So I if you guys have followed Drew on YouTube and you're listening to this podcast right now, you know he had a pretty good week. So I'm gonna tease him a little bit, and I'm not gonna let him talk about it right now. I want Joey to start. Joey, you tell me about your week, and then we'll make Drew wait a little bit. I know he's super excited to talk about his, but I want to hear Joey's week first.
So, dude, my week has been amazing. I don't know what it's been, but YouTube has been blowing up for me. It's so
Nutty?
weird. It's been really nutty. Like the last like couple lives, we've had like 200 people at the most and constantly at 150, you know, in between there. And I'm just loving life, man. I just love YouTube and connecting with your audience. And I don't know, man. I'm super excited for YouTube. I can't wait to get off this podcast and list a couple things and then also make another video. So I'm super excited. I can't wait for the future. I can't wait to start reselling. But another thing is I lost my top rated seller, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's because of COVID or something like that. I really don't know. It said I lost it. So I wanted to talk about that with you guys. I think Josh said you lost yours too. So I don't know. Like,
yeah, I haven't. I'm like scheduled to lose it. It's basically late shipments. Like I would always take my stuff to the post office, but you lazy postal workers wouldn't scan my packages in, and eBay doesn't, like if you have 1 day handling time and you drop it off at the post office the same day, but they don't scan it in for 3 days, eBay doesn't think you took it to the post office for 3 days. Right. So that's really frustrating. Hopefully I can just call somebody and have them remove that. Basically it just counts as an item, not an account, defect or something?
Transaction defect.
Transaction defect rate. And once you have like a couple different things, late shipments is just one thing that could happen. So hopefully if they see that I have like, you know, if you take 10 packages to the post office and drop them off and don't get them scanned in, and all of them get scanned in late, that's 10 transactions that are late now. And it's super easy to lose your status that way. I think I've had mine for a while. So I'm in like a probationary period where they're like, hey, we were supposed to knock you down to above standard this month, but we're going to give you an extra 30 days to correct it. But it's even if you would have to, it's a
You'd have to ship
percentage.
out like a gajillion packages because it's a
Yeah.
percentage. So it's like if you sell 100 things and you have your transaction defect rate has to be below 1% and you have one late transaction, that means you have to sell another 100 things in 30 days without any issues for them to fix it. So like for
Yeah.
me, I have 1,600 something active listings. So 1% is 16. So like if I have I can't even do the math right now. It's too
Yeah,
many. It's too many.
it's probably not possible, honestly. So I think if it gets to the point where they actually take it away, I'm just going to call eBay. And I think Matt, part time pickers, I think he posted on Instagram that he had his removed, and then he called and had the defects removed from his account. I don't know. I mean, I feel like eBay is pretty understanding about the whole late package situation. So if you call them and
Mhm.
you get the right person on the phone, they should be able to help you out. But I'm not too concerned about it. I mean, I've made videos in the past where I don't think top rated seller matters that much. I think I still have 100% positive feedback. I don't even have a neutral right now. So I think people are more focused on that rather than top rated seller.
Mhm.
But then you get other discounts too, like shipping discounts and everything. So it's frustrating. But is that the worst thing that happened to you this week, Joey?
Yeah, I'm upset.
Well, it could always be
Yeah,
worse
I know,
if
I
that's
know.
the
I'm
worst
just kidding.
thing.
I'm a perfectionist kind of, so like I need that status. I need it.
Yeah.
But
It takes like 90 days to get it. And it's you have to put in so much work to get it. And then I don't know. It's definitely frustrating.
oh, and
All
also
right.
Speaking,
one quick sorry. Dude,
okay.
Josh, I was telling you this before we got on the podcast, but someone like copied my shirt and put it on eBay, and they did it to you too. There's two other people that have it. So I think that's absolutely nuts last night. It really got the best of me, but I was thinking about I was like, they know who the real OG, shirt is, so like,
I didn't know they did it to
yeah,
me.
just put support your friends in the title, and there's three other people. Well, it's you and then two other people.
I didn't know they did it to me. Click, 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 keyboard type, keyboard type, keyboard type.
Uh, but
But
yeah,
while you're looking, because now we know that during this podcast, Josh is going to look it up and see his
This
his.
is an actual shirt. Like somebody bought a shirt from me. Oh no, maybe it's just a mock-up. I don't know. That's crazy, man.
yeah.
So speaking of late shipments, real quick, while you're looking at that, let me ask you guys a question. I have an item that's a late shipment right now because it was a set of magazines that I sold, and it's going to China, but the buyer put in a note like, please make sure that the Chinese address is on the shipping label. And when you click print shipping label, I get a notification that the address is too long. Like it can only be 40 characters long. So how do I fix that so I can ship it out? I messaged the buyer on eBay yesterday. It's been almost 24 hours. So I'm thinking like, well, the time change is different and I can't I can't fix it. So like I'm going to have a late shipment because of this and I really don't know what to do. So
Can
I'm
you
kind of pressed like I mean there's an address line 1 and an address line 2 and both lines are full.
maybe you
Like
could just take out address 2 and then maybe that would be good because I mean
well
address
no
1.
because that one says address 2 is housing number 11 building 1 unit 301. Like it's pretty
That's really weird. I don't
it's really weird and I messaged the buyer and they're not responding so I'm like I'm gonna get literally it's funny you guys mentioned that like I'm gonna get a transaction defect rate issue on my account for this late shipment because the buyer's address is too long in
well,
Chinese.
I would contact eBay.
I would cancel the order.
Boom. But
Yeah,
will you get a
well it was
canceled defect rate for
No,
yeah
canceling?
you just cancel saying there's a problem with the buyer's address. That's happened to me a few times. It's like I think the last time was like a military base, and it was just like a whole paragraph long of an address. I'm like, I can't. You can't fit that much on a shipping label, so I just canceled it.
Mm.
And there's
did they
nothing you
did
can
they
do.
ever
I'm not
buy it
gonna.
again?
You can't ship it
Well, I know,
because it
but did
won't.
they ever buy it again and fix their address?
No,
Rip.
but I think it was like a
So
$10 sale anyway, so it didn't really matter.
yeah, well mine's like a $75 sale, so it's not like the end of the world, but it definitely I just need to change my handling to 2 days instead of 1 day. Because I changed my handling to one day a long time ago when I heard some people say like, "Oh, well, the eBay algorithm will boost your, your listings if you offer one day handling, if you offer free shipping, if you do all these things." So like I tried taking all their advice and I was like, I don't really see a boost in my sales. I should have made a video about it back in the day when I did it to see if it has any change, but I need to change my handling to 2 days now that like my business has grown so much because I'm shipping out stuff every single day and I should be, but like just in case I sell something at like 11 o'clock in the morning and I don't ship it out that same day,
Hmm.
you know,
Hmm.
if I don't ship it out by 11 o'clock in the morning the next day, then it's considered late. So I don't like that because sometimes like one night, the night that I was up building the website for my wholesale box drop, I was literally up till 4:30 in the morning. So like I woke up at 11 the next day. So, if I would have had a late shipment because of that, it's not my fault that the buyer bought it at 11.
Yeah.
Should have
So,
bought it at
and I was
12.
doing I know. So, but I guess that's just part of being an online seller. So,
Guys, I'm kind of distraught about this t-shirt
Dude, I
situation.
was
Like
so
it's
upset.
not a big deal. Like it happens to like every YouTuber. Like people fake YouTube merch all the time. But there's 3 different people on eBay selling my support your friends shirts.
Hmm.
3. And I like went through and reported the listings, but I doubt eBay's going to do anything. So if you guys are listening to this podcast and you want to purchase merch from a YouTuber, make sure to go through their links. Don't just search eBay for their name or whatever. I mean, or if you do, just make sure it's the actual store. I only sell merch on my eBay store, Harry Tornado. Joey only sells merch on his eBay store. So don't support these guys. One of them has 0 feedback. One has 5 feedback. I wonder if he's actually sold shirts. And then what if they're selling shirts that are like crappy quality
Yeah,
and people think that it's me, you know?
that's
and then you're
crazy.
gonna start getting comments like, "Josh, I ordered a shirt from you and I never got it. I knew you were one of those YouTubers who
Yeah.
who say that you're gonna send out nice cotton shirts, and I get some cheap ripped shirt from
Yeah.
Wish.com."
Wish it took 12 weeks.
So
But
anyway,
I can just make a video about it. You know, anytime like the beautiful part about having a YouTube channel is like anytime something bad happens, like if you lose your top rated seller status or you get a really crazy return or a customer tries to scam you, you can just make a YouTube video about
Yeah,
it and monetize it. And usually for me at least, I mean, I'm in a very privileged situation, but I can usually make more money on the video than whatever happened cost me,
yeah.
you know? Like when my eBay store was shut down because my Vero that one time, like I did the live and I sold like 47 things to people in the chat and I didn't ask anybody to buy anything. They just did. And then that live made a bunch of money and super chats and all that stuff too. And then I made a video about it that like the next 2 days later, I think that video made like $800 in AdSense so far. So that's YouTube. That's the benefit of having a YouTube channel for
Yeah.
sure.
I was thinking about
I
making
think
a
I think
video.
it's just fun. I think it's just fun to be able to document the process too. Like,
Mhm.
although the fact that there is a benefit to the fact that you can make a video about just about anything for your YouTube channel when it comes to this type of business, because you obviously want to share that with your followers as well, so that people know, like, hey, listen, don't buy a shirt from any other account other than
Yeah.
Harry Tornado because it might be a scam, and I don't want you to think that you buy a shirt that says Harry Tornado on it and it's a scam, but people will still just look for it's really crazy because people will type in Harry Tornado shirt and then they'll just look for the cheapest one and go, "Oh,
Hmm.
this one's only
Right.
12.99 and this why is this one 26.99?" And it's like, "Well, there's a reason." And some of those people will literally just buy the cheapest one and then they wonder why they're sending you DMs on Instagram going, "Can I get tracking confirmation on my shirt?" And you're like, "I don't have an order from you." And then, they're like, "Well, I bought a shirt that, blah blah blah." So the fact that you can
It's
just
crazy, man.
document everything and share it on a YouTube channel to me is just so cool. Like how I'm documenting this process of buying all these shoes from Rally Roots, which we can talk about in a minute.
Hmm.
I've been editing episode 3 here and there because I've just been so busy past couple days with finishing the wholesale boxes and dropping them off and packing up weekend sales and doing the live listing with Joey and whatever. So but everything's exciting. obviously I love what I do. So, but having to be able to document that and share, like, okay, I am now at this part of the process, with, I built the website, now I'm shipping out the boxes, here's how I'm building the boxes,
Yeah.
so people can understand like actually how much work went into it. And I think everybody knows who bought a box, especially, which, I'll tell the story again in just a second. But everybody who bought a box, first of all, thank you. But if you're listening, but everybody knows how much work went into it. It wasn't just like, oh, I had hundreds of perfect shoes laying around and I just made a bunch of money. Like, it doesn't work
Yeah.
like that. I really, really worked for the
Didn't
profit that
you?
I
Did
made.
you have to rent a truck? Because I feel like on your Instagram, I saw that you had a U-Haul.
I did. It's in my second video.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I haven't watched your second video yet. I'm sorry. That's the one thing. Like, I don't know, man. I'm
Just
gonna
say,
be honest with you guys. Like, anytime you ask, like, hey, have you seen my video yet? I'm either gonna say yes or no, and whatever it is honest.
no,
Like, if
it's
you ask me,
okay. It's okay. It's totally understandable because Dante, Prison to Profit, hit the nail on the head the other day in one of his lives. I popped in, and he was saying, he's like, "Yo, what up, Drew?" Because I commented, and he's like, "Yo, man," he basically said the exact same thing you did. He's like, "Yo, I saw you, got all those shoes, but you didn't fit them in your car, something like that." And I was like, "Yeah, go check out the next episode. It's already up, and you can see what
Mhm.
happened." And he's like, "Oh, my bad, man." And he's like, "Man, you just don't understand how many resellers are making videos. I'm trying to keep up with everybody.
Yeah.
Now I'm growing my channel. I'm trying to edit videos. I'm trying to do lives." And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I get it. Like, you don't have to." I don't say it to be like, sarcastic or disrespectful. I'm just saying it to mess with you because we're
You're
friends.
mean.
I know I'm so mean, but like I understand other resellers are probably the people that we talk about it with the most, but they're not the ones that actually watch the videos because they're making their own, they're
Yeah.
recording, they're sourcing, they're listing. You know, it's the people who don't make YouTube videos that's really your main audience who
Yeah.
are watching your content. So I get
I feel
it.
like a lot of my viewers aren't even resellers. Like, I get comments almost every video. People are like, I don't know why. I'm just interested in this. I don't sell. I don't want to sell. I just like watching.
Dude,
I'm
I
like,
I
okay,
had this
welcome to the
I
party.
had the same comment last night on my live. She's like, I do nothing about like nothing with eBay. I just like watching you. I'm like, what? Like that's awesome. That's pretty cool.
It seems seems
Joey hit some type of small algorithm last night, and we had a lot of people come into the live and go, "What am I watching right now?" And we had to explain like multiple times. We're resellers. We sell on eBay right now. We're doing a live listing. We're taking pictures of shoes. Blah blah blah.
mhm,
And it was really weird to have that engagement, but it was really cool at the same time
from new
because
people.
yeah, but not reseller new people. This was
Yeah.
just like, and a lot of them were like gamers, right,
Yeah, they're
Joey?
like
Yeah.
gamers.
They were like,
It happened to me. I was on a live on my
I
channel,
remember that.
and it went from like 200 to like 600.
Mm.
I'm like, what is going on? And like iDubbbz TV had just like, I don't know if he premiered or posted a video, and then like for some reason my live was like suggested as like the autoplay. So everybody, that video had like a million views in the first day. So everybody that was just didn't click on another video got automatically switched to my live stream, and they're like, "What is this? What?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is a huge
I remember
opportunity
that.
here."
I remember that.
It's crazy. It was absolutely,
"That's
and
awesome."
I probably have like 5 or 6 people that I met in that chat that came from that video that still watch my videos now, which is really really crazy. But I
What
wish I knew why, man. Like, I do not understand YouTube. Like,
Yeah,
it's a live video.
it's a weird game. It's like, for example, I was telling Joey because I've been giving him a hard time about it, but um and Joey knows I'm just messing with him. But like my video with Rally Roots, my second video is at like 2.5K views, and it's I'm really thrilled with how the video went, the engagement, the comments, the likes, whatever. And Joey puts out a thrifting video at Destiny and it's already more than 2.5K likes. And I'm like, dang, bro, your video's doing better than my Rally Roots video. But he hit something and I'm like super happy for him.
Yeah.
I'm super thrilled, but you just never know. Like, you could put out a video of like how I use my box cutter in my reselling business, you know, but
2 million views.
yeah, but like, who was it? Well, there's multiple channels, but someone I was seeing had like over 1.1 million views on one of their videos, and I think it was a Cincinnati Picker video, and it has like 1.1 million views on it now. And it was one of the ones that he like just titled something basic like, "This is how I run my reselling business,"
Hmm.
or "This is how I pack my sales for eBay." And then Justin RVA Flips has the one with the Funko Pops, and it's just like, "I bought Funko Pops" was the title, and it's got like 1.3 million, 1
No,
million.
that one was $1,000 garage sale deal caught on camera. I remember
Oh yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, yeah.
specifically because
Yeah,
Justin
you're
was
right.
at like 3,000 subscribers when he made that video. Like it was great to have 1 million views on a video with 3,000 subs is nuts. That's crazy. But I mean, I still remember like the first time I posted a video and it got 1,000 views. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're in quadruple digits now, baby. Let's get it. This is awesome. And then I had my first video that hit 10,000 views, and like it was just surreal. I was like, oh my gosh, 10,000 people. And
And
now
then
it's all
you had
relative
the one
because
that hit
now, like,
100K that was like, best things to sell on eBay or something, right? And that one's like over
yeah,
100K.
that was the 100, and that was awesome. I was like, oh my gosh, now we're in six digits. It just keeps going. And now I've got, I don't know, I think like 10 or 12 videos that are over 100,000. I'm just like, oh, that's cool. So it's all relative as you continue to grow. It's the same with anything,
No,
like
I
when you're a
agree.
kid and you ride a bike for the first time, it's like the best thing in the world. But then you're 40 years old and you ride a bike and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna hurt myself.
Yeah.
It just comes in time. But if I ever get my one of my dream deals videos is at I think almost 500,000 views. So when it hopefully and that's only 3 or 4 months old. And I know I talked to Cincinnati Picker about his video that hit 1 million, and it took that video almost a year. Like from the time it was posted to the time it hit 1 million was like 11 months or so. I think if I remember correctly. So it I don't know. Sometimes YouTube just picks up older videos and pushes them out. I made a video about product photography when I was at like 1,500 subs, and it got like, I don't know, 600 or 700 views when I first posted it, and that was normal. And then like 6 months later, YouTube picked it up and it went from 600 views to like 50,000 views in like 3 weeks,
What?
and then
Wow.
it just stopped. It hit 50 and then just stopped. I think it's at like 52,000 now. So it's weird, man. I don't understand.
Yeah, back when I had my other YouTube channel with my buddy Jeremy, we just did like challenge videos and like stupid stuff, like I guess you could say like college kids and high school kids would do. Back then it was like really popular to do like the say anything challenge, the what's my name challenge, the tin can challenge, like random
Hmm.
stuff. And we made two videos that went like I guess you could say semi-viral because we had less than 1,000 subscribers on our channel. We did a Watch Me Whip parody to
Hmm.
being in the gym, and it's called Watch Me Lift, and it's if you look it up, it's literally the most cringy video on YouTube in the history of YouTube. It's so cringy. We were so bad that we didn't even make our own music. We just took the Watch Me Whip song and put the volume down really low and then sang over it. It's so bad. But during the trend of the Watch Me Whip, we caught like the very last wave of the Watch Me Whip um, uh, trend, I guess you could say, or like the hype.
Hmm.
And we went from like 0 to 30K views on that video like in 2 days. And then it just completely stopped.
Yeah.
And then we did a pregnancy simulator video where we put one of those like pad things on our abs, and we like I guess shocks ourselves and it creates contractions.
Yeah.
And within a week we got like 150K views on that video, and then it just completely stopped because like the Try Guys, they have like millions of subscribers on YouTube. They did it and they got 4 point something million views, and so
Yeah.
we did it and we caught a little bit of that wave and got like 100 something
Dude,
K.
YouTube, like if you want to make, I mean, I guess it counts for a reselling channel too, but like there's channels out there that do anything that's trending. Like you remember that kid that was on Graham Stephan's podcast a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
He was kind of arrogant. He was like 15 or 16 years
Yeah.
old. And like his channel was basically just like whatever. Like he started it
Yeah.
when he was like 13. And by the time he was 14, he was making like $1,000 a month. He's 15 years old, making like $30,000 a month, literally just doing trends like prank challenges or cinnamon chat, whatever. Like it's all about seeing what's popular and jumping on that train. And it's almost like the stock market. Like it's really hard to time it out because like if you see a trend that's coming, you don't know if it's, I mean, it could take off overnight. There's TikToks you can make that you post it and go to bed and you wake up with 1 million
Yeah.
views. It's just crazy how that stuff works. YouTube is a little bit more complicated than TikTok, and it's much harder to hit the algorithm on YouTube than it is on TikTok. But it's still about researching what is going to be trending, like seeing what is popular right now and seeing what people are already searching for. That when I talked to Phoenix Resale the other day, we were talking about like YouTube videos and trending topics. And he was like, yeah, I just like with his PS5 and Xbox giveaway video, he's like, okay, in the next month, Google searches and YouTube searches for PS5 and Xbox Series X are going to be through the roof. So if I make a video giving away both of these things, I should get some traction from that. And it worked. I
Some.
mean, some traction. Yeah, I think it's almost at 700,000 views,
Wow.
which he was at
That's
7,000 subscribers when he made the video.
that's
So
so
that's
cool.
it's huge, But that was literally just thinking like, okay, what's going to be a hot Google search next month? Like, meet Kevin, the finance
Mhm.
YouTuber.
Yeah.
All he does is like hot topics in the news, like stimulus checks and new tax laws and all this stuff. People, things that are hot in the news. He's making 3 to 4 videos a day about that stuff, and that's why he's making probably $752 million a month on YouTube.
That's
So
insane.
again, with reselling, it's hard to do that because there's only so many things that are popping up in reselling. But with eBay managed payments, when they put out a new wave of customers on eBay managed payments, there's going to be all these new eBay sellers that are going to be searching like, what is this? How do we do this?
Mhm.
So that the day after that will be a perfect day to make a video about what is eBay managed payments, and you'll get a ton of organic search traffic like that. But again,
Yeah.
it's a hard
That's
game to play.
that's kind of I think how Rockstar Flipper got a lot bigger because he was very like active in eBay news, I guess you could say eBay and
Yeah.
Poshmark news. So like when something would happen on Poshmark or on eBay, he would make a video like literally within 5 minutes and say Poshmark shipping updates, what you need to know. And like the videos were very basic in nature. Like there was no editing, there's no hype, it's just him sitting on a couch, saying, "Hey, it's Casey, and you know, here's what's going on," and it's almost like eBay news channel at one point,
Yeah,
you're just
it's
like
it's like
watching.
Meet Kevin. Meet Kevin posts financial videos like that, and Casey's just trying to do the same thing for the reselling industry.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad idea. It's just it's tough to like. I know if I have so many people that ask me for shipping videos or how do you change this setting on eBay, and I know if I make a video called like how to turn on global shipping program, my viewers probably wouldn't watch that. It'd probably be a pretty low video view count overall in the first part, but it may do better overall. Like, once you get to a certain level of subscribers, you can just start like focusing on like the psychological aspect of titles. Like, I can't believe I found this for $2 or stuff like that.
Right,
Stuff
right,
that people
exactly.
that don't watch your channel would be likely or wouldn't be likely to watch, but people that watch your channel know it's going to be a good video. So it's
Right.
it's a constant struggle between making like those evergreen videos that like Rally Roots does that. I think once a year they make like a how to eBay basics video,
Mhm.
like a eBay tutorial for beginners, and that's usually one of their best videos for the year every year. But like, I'm not going to watch that because I'm an eBay seller. I've been selling eBay for 2 years.
Right.
I don't need to know that information. But they're reaching a whole new audience when they make videos like that. So I don't know, man.
I'll,
There's just so
I'll
much
make
to
I'll
think
make
about.
a I'll make a how to list your death pile video, and you'll watch that.
I'll watch that. Yeah.
All the way through, maybe twice.
I promise I'm going to list today. I finished editing. I've got a huge video coming out today. I'm so excited about it. It was a big success, I think, and you guys already know about it. I don't want to talk about it too much on here, but it'll be out today. I just finished editing it. I got to go make a few last minute adjustments, and then it'll be out. I don't know, probably like 3 o'clock today. If you're
Nice.
listening to the podcast, it'll be out yesterday.
It'll be out yesterday. um, but yeah, so all right, well, let me jump in here and talk about what's been
Yeah,
going
take it
on.
away, Drew.
Drew,
Tell
I've
us
been
about everything you're
take
excited
the
about.
mic away, Drew.
so guys, if you haven't watched my video or you don't know who I am because you follow Joey or Josh, or something like that, I made this deal with Ryan Roots from Rally Roots, and he bought a bunch of shoes from another reseller who wanted out of the game. And so Ryan bought them all. I'll try to make it really short. Ryan bought them all for $1,600. And then he posted on his Instagram that he was going to be wholesaling some of it. I DM'd him right away and said, I'm definitely interested in some lots. 5 minutes later, he FaceTimes me and starts telling me, like, because he knows I'm semi-local to him. I'm like an hour and 20 minutes away. And he calls me and he starts telling me about, he's like, yo, there's a lot of shoes, but you can come pick through what you want. We can make some deals. And he said, I'm probably going to try to, make X amount of money, but if you want them all, I'll sell them to you right now for $3,000. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, you want to buy them all? I was like, okay. I didn't even like think about how much space I had in my shed. I didn't think about anything. I just immediately thought like, dude, I've been dying to meet
That's funny
Rally Root.
because that's the first thing I thought about. Like when I saw you do the pickup, I'm like, okay, I've seen Drew's shed, and it's like 95% full. So what's he gonna do with all these shoes?
Yeah, so Ryan and I both ironically were talking about this and we had the exact same like mental thought about it was Ryan goes, "What am I going to do with all these shoes? But I'm not going to pass up the opportunity to buy all these shoes, be able to make some money and make a YouTube video about it." So Ryan was like, "I don't know how I'm going to sort 500 plus pairs of shoes or 4 to 500 pairs of shoes." And when he offered them to me, he was like, "It's a lot of shoes." I was like, "Okay, no big deal. I can figure out a way to make this work." And I get down there and I'm talking like if you watch the video, there's certain clips that do it justice and there's certain pictures that don't. And it was like literally a mountain of shoes. And if you go back and watch the second video, there was at about 700 pairs of shoes total. Um, and there was a couple that I threw away when we were at the ranch. There was probably like 15 pairs that were either damaged, the soles were ripped off, blah, blah, blah. So
Mhm.
I ended up bringing home 688 pairs of shoes that I counted. So, Ryan thought there was about 400 originally, and it was just an amazing deal. It was an incredible opportunity. I paid $3,000 for everything. He decided to ask me in his video if I wanted to wholesale some out. So I, of course, said yes, because I figured obviously it'll bring some more viewers to my channel, people interested in wholesale. I took the shoes, I ran with it, I filled my living room and my shed and said, "Well, I don't have the space for this, so I got to get it done now." So I just
Mhm.
went to work immediately, just started putting in the work and
A quick
start
question: did you ask your wife if you could buy 700 pairs of shoes?
no, no,
What
absolutely
what
not.
did you just like come home with the carload and she's like,
Well,
"What is
when I
that?"
got when I got off the phone with Ryan, it was probably like later in the afternoon. I think it was a Monday, like a Monday afternoon. I got off the phone with him and I walk out into the living room and I go, "You guys can't see me, but we're talking on StreamYard." I put my hands up to my face and I walk up to my wife and say, "I'm gonna need to hire an employee." And she said, "Why? What did you do?" And I was like, "Well, tomorrow I'm going to the Rally Roots Ranch because I just bought 500 pairs of shoes." And she was like, okay. Like my wife is very, very, very supportive of my business because she knows that I'll do whatever it takes to provide for our family. And she just
And
really
you're a good
believes in me.
reseller. You sell stuff all the time. So seeing the money come in the bank account is probably very reassuring for her.
Yeah, well, and like I said earlier, we've owned multiple businesses together, so she knows like I wouldn't make any irrational decisions with our finances. It
Yeah.
was just more of like the space for sure, because I don't have a big house, but I have a big backyard. So I was just like, all right, well, I'll load it up. I'll figure out a way to make this work to meet Ryan, to potentially be in one of his videos, and to be able to make money on this deal. Like it's a no-brainer for me. I'll just figure out the space issue when I get home. And so I put some of the shoes in my house in my living room, and then I put everything else in the shed. And I immediately got to work. I just started making wholesale boxes, and I probably had like over 100 DMs, and it's literally the same DM like, "Hey Drew, great video. I saw you on Rally Roots channel, and I would really be interested in a wholesale box. How much are they, and when are they going to be available?" Like, basically like that. And so
Yeah.
I responded to every single DM, individually and said, "This is what I'm working on. This is how much they're going to be. Blah blah blah." And so I didn't exactly know how I was going to make the wholesale boxes to make it available to the public, because I had so many DMs and I knew I wasn't going to be able to make as many boxes. I didn't feel like making a box of 5 or 10 shoes was really going to be worth it for anybody wholesale. So I was like, I need
Yeah.
to do at least 20 shoes so it gives people some inventory to list. And when I started building the boxes, I was like, well, I obviously need to keep inventory for myself. Um, so, and going through the shoes, I found, probably about 0.5% of what I actually bought, probably 40 pairs, 30 to 40 pairs had rips, tears, no insoles, very low tread. So I had to throw away some shoes that I wasn't expecting
Hmm.
because I didn't go through every single pair when I was at Ryan's ranch. So I made the wholesale boxes and I said, okay, I just got to figure out how to build a website because Ryan has vintageroots.com for his vintage t-shirt drops.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's the perfect idea. I'll just make a website, do a drop, and let people, first come, first serve. Because I don't think it would be fair to let the first person who DM'd me to get a box, considering like not everybody can watch a video right when it comes out. So I decided to build a website. I went on Shopify. I've never built a website like that before. I took pictures of the wholesale boxes. I uploaded it to Shopify, shared it on my Instagram, did a drop, and it was amazing. I did 19 or I did 20 boxes and I sold 19 out of the 20 boxes on my website. And I sold one locally to a friend who's trying to get into reselling. So I sold 20 wholesale boxes. And then Joey's girlfriend, Destiny, wants a box. So I have one put to the side for her as well. So I sold 20 boxes total, not including the one that Destiny wants to buy, which is just really exciting. So I sold, on top of the 20 boxes I sold, there, if you watch the video, there was like the big shoes from Ross and Marshalls, like
Hmm.
size 14 to size 20. There was 90 pairs of those, or about 100 pairs of those shoes, and I sold 90 pairs to one guy for
Yeah.
$900, and the buyer paid shipping. So I sold all of those for $10 a pair to one guy. I basically doubled my money on that deal because my average buy cost was about $4.36 a pair when you minus out, what I paid, $3,000, 688 pairs. It was about
Hmm.
$4.36 a pair. So I basically doubled up on the big shoes, and I didn't have to worry about them, size 17s, 18s, 19s. It's not really my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Um,
Take a long time to sell those.
yeah. So the guy was super thrilled. He paid for shipping. He sent me his own labels. All I had to do was, slap them on the boxes. And yeah, that part of the video is going to be coming out today for us. Now that we're recording, if you're watching this, it'll come out. It'll have been come out. However, Josh said it yesterday.
That's right.
So,
That's awesome, man.
um,
That's what I love about wholesale because the original guy, probably even selling all those shoes to Ryan for 1,600, he probably still made a little bit of money. Like it took him a long time, a lot of work, but he probably didn't, even if he broke even. So Ryan paid 1,600, you paid 3 grand. So Ryan instantly profits 1,400. Then you can profit like a pretty good amount and wholesale those on, and then the wholesale receivers can profit. So there's just so much room to make it at every stop along the way with wholesale. And obviously the closer you get to the trunk of it all, the more money you can make. But it's what work do you want to do? Do you want to sit and list shoes all day, or do you want to like box them up? And like you kept some good ones and listed them for yourself, and then you just passed on the deal to other people. So I love wholesale deals. I'm probably going to go through my death pile today and maybe make at least one wholesale box, some shoes and some other stuff, just to help me clear out some items. But my problem is when I make wholesale boxes, I'm like, I want to give people a good deal because the last thing I want is somebody to open a Harry Tornado mystery box on YouTube and no, he scammed me, blah blah blah. But my problem is I usually give too good of a deal. Like this one guy bought a mystery box for $100 and he probably made like 400 on it. I'm like, okay, that's too much. You shouldn't be able to quadruple your money on a mystery box. Like I need to shoot for like 50 to 75% ROI.
yeah,
But
on the mystery boxes I created, that was one of the things that I was trying to kind of figure out is, okay, I need people to at least double their money, like
mhm,
at bare minimum double their money. And then I'm making some of these boxes and I'm like kind of looking up comps on certain ones because I'm like, that's a nice pair of shoes. Should I keep that for myself? And I'm like, nah, I'm going to throw it in the box, because
yeah,
obviously you could say like I cherry picked it because I paid for everything up front. So I
mhm,
kept a lot of like the $100 plus shoes. But as I'm going through these lots that I'm building, I'm looking up like a pair of Nike Zoom Pegasus. I'm like, dang, these are $40 shoes plus shipping. I'm like, if anybody complains about these boxes, my mind will be blown because there's a couple pairs of like, obviously each box had like around at least 4 to 5 pairs of new tag shoes, like some
yeah,
cleats, some Adidas, some Pumas, new tags like Ross and Marshall style shoes.
yeah.
And some of them are good, some of them are not. Like I've already listed and sold some of them on eBay for like $40, $45. So I'm like, I know people can make money on these boxes, but I'm just thinking to myself, man, like one box I was boxing up, and I'm like, dang, there's a pair of Air Max 90s in here, and those are like $60 shoes. I was like, nah, I'm gonna give them to the buyer. Like I want people to be really happy.
Yeah.
So,
That way, if you come across another deal like that in the future, people will know that you sell good wholesale boxes. They'll be likely to buy again from you in the future.
right, exactly. So it was really cool
Joey,
for me to be able to do, and I'm just really excited for the
Joey,
buyers.
did you
I
get
can't wait to get some feedback. Like I hope at least one person makes an unboxing video.
Joey? Did you get a box from Drew?
No, I wanted other people to have the opportunity to get a really cool box from Drew. I
He didn't think they were worth it.
Well, I don't. I personally, I think that I can go out and go source that. Other people can, maybe they can't go out, or
Yeah.
So I look towards that situation. Like for Destiny, she can't really find really good items at her area because her prices get marked up like crazy of the area that she's in. So
Hmm.
I was like, Des, this is a great opportunity. I'll tell Drew that you want a box, and a lot of people messaged me saying, Joey, why didn't you get a box? Like, you're best friends with Drew. I'm like, I just can't do that. Like, I don't know. I just don't think that'd be right.
Yeah.
I feel like other people would really need it, not me. I can go out and go source. So shout out to your wholesale sellers, buyers.
Yeah, I
What
know
I
that
love about
David
being,
thrifting after work bought a box, so he'll probably make a video.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
He's a nice guy.
what I like about it too is like with us, like I'm in South Carolina, you guys are in Florida, so we had the possibility that we could just go out and source cheap shoes.
yeah.
Like Joey, you find shoes for like
Yeah.
$5 sometimes. Like even cheaper than I
Mhm.
do. But we could sell them to somebody in California for $15 a pair. And they could double their money. We could triple our money if we can get them for
Yeah.
5. And that's still a good deal for them in California because that's still cheaper than Goodwill, even after paying for
Yeah. That's
shipping.
true. Yeah.
Some people I get people all the time comment on my videos being like, "Oh, my Goodwill charges $20 for every shoe, no matter what it is." I'm like, okay, well, you can probably buy shoes on eBay cheaper than
Yeah.
that and just source online. I think if we all just, not all of us, but if you live in an area where your Goodwill is just out of control, just stop buying them
Right.
because I don't think non-resellers are going to pay those kind of prices for used shoes because resellers are the ones that see the most value in used shoes. So if resellers think the price is outrageous, normal people are going to think it's outrageous too. And once Goodwill has maybe 30 days with no sales, they're going to realize how stupid that
Mm,
is. Like Goodwill's business model needs to be volume, getting stuff out the door.
exactly.
They don't need to try to. Somebody posted an Instagram reel last night where Goodwill had like women's clothing, like Max Azria, like Walmart brand stuff for like $18 for a shirt.
That's so
I'm
embarrassing.
like, you can get it at Walmart for 12 new.
Yeah. Brand
I,
new.
I
Yeah.
don't understand.
Goodwill thinks they know what they're doing, but you know what is funny to me is I don't really think it's Goodwill corporate. I think it's just employees in the back are like, I'm just going to price stuff high because I don't want resellers to come in here and buy this cheap, because
Hmm.
like it's amazing to me how some Goodwills like will literally, for example, a pair of Rothy's, like I went into one of Joey's Goodwills in a video or in on his birthday, and I found a
So
pair of
like
Rothy's
Porky Pig.
pair of Rothy's for $3.99, and then you walk into a Goodwill in my area, and they'll put the Rothy's behind a glass shelf, and they'll
Glass
put 'em,
dome.
yeah, they'll lock them like with chain and lock, and they'll put like $99 on the pair of Rothy's, because they think that they are going to get some, Rothy's fan to go in there and pay $100 at a Goodwill. It was like the Christmas tree video. Like my
Hmm.
Goodwill was selling Christmas trees for like $250. And now they were decorated, okay, whatever, but it was just insanity to me that
Yeah.
they think that they can put some garland and some donated ornaments on a Christmas tree and sell it for $250. And
I
but
mean,
every Goodwill is
I don't know
different.
how I feel about it because like, I don't know. Say you own a thrift store, right? Obviously, that's a business and you own it and you want to get maximum dollar. And I understand more like smaller family owned thrift stores being higher price because they don't have the surplus of donations that Goodwill has. But like with Goodwill, you make everything you sell is 100% profit and you pay your employees minimum wage. So and your overhead is just very small. It's the smallest overhead of any retail establishment. So it just rubs me the wrong
Yeah.
way when I'm like, you get all this stuff for free, and I get it. Like, you want to make money. I understand that, but like, when I can buy the same thing on eBay cheaper, that's obviously a
Mhm.
problem, you know? So
The
I'm
best
not mad
ones.
at anybody for making money. Anytime I talk about high Goodwill prices, I always get the people in the comments to say like, "Oh, the Goodwill CEO makes $1 million a year." Yeah, he's a CEO. CEOs make that kind of money. To be the CEO of a company the size of Goodwill, he makes an average salary. I don't care how much money he makes. He's that's his job. You know, that's what he could go be a CEO of any other company Goodwill size and probably make the same amount of money. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is just I don't know. People like Goodwill's supposed to I don't know. It doesn't
Well,
I don't even know what I'm trying to say because I don't mind people making money. Like if the market commands it, then make all the money you can, you know. But
right. Well, and here's
it,
here's the reason why there is the war between, Goodwill prices and resellers is because Goodwill is supposed to be for the people, for the community. Like you should be able to walk into Goodwill and buy something because you need it, or that's really where they started. It wasn't
but
for
then
resellers.
what about
So,
resellers? Like you say, Goodwill's for the community, and anybody should just go in and find affordable clothing. But then resellers come in and buy all the affordable clothing to resell it.
so here's the justification that I have, at least my opinion on it. Most resellers don't go into Goodwill looking for the cheapest shirt they can buy because they need to put a shirt on their back. They're
Hmm.
looking for stuff that is like very, very profitable that some, I don't want to say poor person, that's not the right word, but someone who just needs a basic t-shirt really cheap or a cheap pair of shoes, isn't going to walk in and start looking up comps and say, "Oh, Ariat boots? Oh yeah, these are 29.99 at Goodwill, but I can sell these on the street for $100." Like, they're just looking for something that they can put on their feet. So I believe it's two different audiences of people. So in my opinion, when people say like, "Oh, you're taking from poor people as a reseller," I think that argument is complete garbage in my opinion because there are hundreds and hundreds of shirts and pairs of shoes and shorts and pants that are, you know, low key brands that are amazing quality but don't have any resale value on eBay, and that stuff gets
Yeah,
left at Goodwill all the time. But somebody who needs a cheap shirt isn't walking in looking for a vintage $200 Pendleton sweater, you
yeah.
know? But if somebody knows the value of a $200 Pendleton sweater and one got donated, like I think that is that person putting in the work, and they deserve to be able to resell that. And even if Goodwill charges a little bit more, like my Goodwill charges 9.99 to 14.99 for the average pair of used shoes, and then like I said, they take Timberlands and mark them up at 49.99 and put them behind the glass counter. Like if that's what they want to do, that's fine. But there will always be stuff that they miss that I can find. For example, VHS players like Josh had in his last video. Most
Hmm.
people find them for $5 to $8, and then you can resell them for 40 to $50. But it's just the way that the business is very like hard to kind of explain, like what Josh was saying.
So good. What I think what I was trying to say, Goodwill needs to realize their market because when you put an item on eBay, like what an item is worth on eBay, it's worth that much because there are millions and millions of people that have the possibility of viewing and buying that item. But when an item is at a Goodwill in Apopka, Florida, wherever you're from, there's only so many people that come into that store every day looking at that item. So
Right.
when you have millions of eyes on your item versus dozens or hundreds, you're not going to be able to command the same price. And Goodwill doesn't seem to understand that. They think, oh, this thing sold on eBay 4 months ago for $100, so let's list it for $100 in our store, put it in the glass case. Somebody will eventually buy it. And no, if it sold on eBay 4 months ago for 100, you couldn't even get 100 for it on eBay now. Maybe. I mean, and that's with millions of people looking at it. So you have to, they're not taking into account that they have such a smaller market to sell to than an eBay seller. So I don't, I mean, like you said, there's, every time I go to Goodwill, there's Nautica and, J. Crew and stuff like that are nice brands, that retail for $80 a shirt, but they're just not worth anything in resale value. So if some poor person wants to go in there and get a nice shirt for themselves, they can. But then when Goodwill starts marking up those, not even the good brands, like just basic stuff like that at, you
Yeah.
know,
It's
20
so
or
it's so funny
$30 a
which
shirt,
ones.
it's just crazy.
It's so funny which ones they mark up. Like you could go back in the day, I could go to Plato's Closet and find a pair of Hokas for 7.99, and
Hmm.
because nobody knew what Hoka was at Plato's Closet because it's not a hype shoe. And now you walk into a Plato's Closet and a pair of Hokas is like $59.99 at Plato's. And I'm like,
Yeah.
come on, guys. Because they just see that, people are reselling them on eBay for $59.99. And I'm like, the chances of somebody walking into your Plato's Closet looking for that model, that color, and
Mhm.
that exact size is so unlikely.
I love it. I get the comments all the time like, why would I buy you bought the shoes for 650 and then sold them for 50. Why would I buy them for you for 50 when I can just go to a thrift store and buy them for 650 myself? I'm like, you're not
Okay,
paying
do it.
for the shoe. You're paying like, do you have any idea how many thrift stores you'd have to go to find this exact style and color of your shoe in the exact size you're looking for? I'm like, you would spend months
Yeah.
So like you're paying for the convenience of having this shoe available for purchase. It can be in your house in 2 days. That's what
Yep.
you're paying for.
Yep.
But people don't really
100%.
understand
It's
that.
all business, and people don't think about business. They think about their feelings.
Hmm.
And you know, it's that's why in Joey's live stream like 2 weeks ago when we were listing, like I started getting really passionate about talking about business,
Hmm.
and people were like, "All right, let's move on, Drew." And I'm like, "You guys don't understand business." Not everybody was saying that, but a few people were like, "This
Yeah.
is getting old." I'm like, "But you guys don't understand how business works. Like this is the stuff I love to talk about because business is so deeper than just I buy a pair of shoes at Goodwill and I resell them on eBay. Like there's so much more to it, and people just want to talk about like the biggest bolos out there. How to make
Yeah.
$500. Selling a prosthetic leg that you found in the dumpster. Or something like that.
That was a pretty good dumpster find.
It was
I forget who
amazing.
it was. Was it Z-Man? Z-Man Flips?
No,
No,
Was that his
it's
name?
Thrift the World.
Thrift the World.
So,
Thrift Store.
but amazing. He's got a honey hole, man. I was talking to him last night. He's got a honey hole. So but it's so much deeper than that. And the people that tell me like, oh, just move on, Drew. They don't really want to grow their business. They just want to talk about like basic level stuff. And that's like the circle of friendship. You have friends you can talk to about deep, 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 intimate stuff. Then you have friends that are just like, hey, how are you? Then you have people from high school. And then you have like
Hmm.
people you see in passing. And it's like that's how reselling is. Like you can talk to people about the exact same thing just in reselling. So um, anyway, I love everything about it, and I want to make more videos talking about it, but I have to grow my audience to be able to have people that want to listen to that type of content.
Yeah.
So
You just grow as you sell more. You become a more mature business owner. Like I've been getting comments on my videos because I've had so many viewer sales lately. On the last 2 or 3 videos, people are like, "Why would your viewers pay so much money for your stuff, and you're telling them how much you spend on it?" And I always had the comment like, "My cost of acquisition has zero effect on the market value of that item. If you find $100 bill laying on the ground, it's not worth nothing because you didn't pay anything for it. It's worth $100." And that same theory goes for items. If you find a $50 pair of Hokas at the bins for $2, that doesn't mean they're worth $2. They're still worth 50. The whole premise behind reselling is having the ability to see opportunity in items. If you find an item for $5 that or you can look up and see that it's worth 50 or 100, that's your skill in this business. And I just don't understand why people don't understand that. Like, oh, you paid $2 for something, so I'll give you 5 for it. I'm like, no, it's a pair of Jordan 1s from 1985. I'll take 1,000. Oh, but you paid
exactly.
2. I'm like, it doesn't matter what I paid. It matters what they're worth.
The supply and demand.
Supply and demand, the market value. People on eBay, when I need something, I don't care what you paid for it. Like if I need a new computer, and College Picker has a computer for $1,000 that he got at a pawn shop for $150 and spent 30 minutes fixing it up. I have no problem paying him $1,000 for that because that's what that computer is worth. I love that he can make a huge profit like that because I don't know how to fix broken
Hmm.
computers, and I'm getting a good deal. Maybe the market value on that laptop is 1,200, so he's actually saving me $200. He's making 850, but it's a fair market price for that item.
To me, reselling is kind of like, you know, if you have ever like become a Christian and like found faith, to me reselling is kind of like that because like the whole I once was lost but now I'm found thing is you don't know anything about reselling, you don't understand eBay, and then you come into the knowledge of I can sell DVD combo units for over $100, and like it's just a mind change for you, and you're like, oh my gosh, where have I, what have I been missing my whole life? When you
Hmm.
start finding out that people are buying Masters golf hats, on eBay for $50, and you can find them at the bins for 50 cents. And it just for me, it's changed my life, obviously, with my
Hmm.
business, my YouTube channel, and life, because I never knew how many people buy and wear used shoes that other people have worn. And it blows
Hmm.
my mind to this day to think about that I can find a pair of shoes that somebody else had their feet in that are in still good condition, and somebody else likes that model, color, size, and will pay top dollar for them. But
The toddler shoes. I
yeah,
gave Drew a shout out in my last video because I thought he sold a pair of toddler Jordans for like $60, but in actuality, he sold them for what, like 170?
yeah, 175.
$175 for used toddler shoes. Toddlers don't even walk. It's shoes that will never serve a purpose. But yeah, I don't know if a hype beast wanted them for their kid or just wanted them for the collection. But people will pay money for crazy things. And like you said, it's just an eye-opening experience when you get into the depths of eBay and you see how much opportunity there is.
Absolutely.
Joey,
Josh,
love you so much, man. What are you thinking about?
I'm just thinking about everything, man. I just have a lot on my plate, and I don't know. I'm in a stretch of like silly putty right now. I just want to just break it open and just like just go crazy and just do what I want to do. I just got to save up a bunch of money. I just like love hearing what you guys talk about, and
You should sell the Tesla and get a Camry.
it's so hard.
What do you think about that?
I don't know.
What if that was a thing? Like if you sold the Tesla, got a Camry, and that was what gave you the ability
Right.
to quit your job and be more comfortable trying out full-time reselling, would you do it?
I mean, I think I would. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Like I was talking with my dad. Like I used to have a Fiat 500. So like,
Hmm.
the transition of I bought a truck, decked it out, sold it, bought a Tesla. Like, I wasn't thinking reselling. I wasn't thinking like how to use my money properly. I was like, I have a full-time job. I could pay for it. And I never
Yeah.
thought about those things until like I do now, even with buying my house. Like, if we could have waited a year or two, saved up a bunch of money, put more money down, now I'm paying a lot of money on my house. So like, it's like I'm stuck, so it's really tough.
and,
That's why
and
I'm
and it's
amazed
not
by people
something.
like Junior Capitalist, because I'm like, man, if I was making
Right.
YouTube videos and
Yeah.
reselling at the age of 13, 14, man, I'd
Oh
probably be a
gosh, dude.
millionaire by now. So like, I'm so impressed with people like him, you
Dude,
know.
when I was 13, if my mom gave me like $20, I was on top of the
Yeah.
world. I was like, oh my
I was
gosh,
I was
like
going
I
to
am
the
rich,
gas station
baby.
on
I'm
the corner.
rich.
I was going to the gas station on the corner buying candy bars, 3 for 99 cents, and selling them to my friends at school.
Josh was
I
doing the
was
same
too, dude.
thing.
Natural born entrepreneurs, man. It's crazy. But Joey, I think not saying that's what you should do, but I think if somebody's listening to this podcast and they're, in a full-time job and you want to be happy, you want to quit the job, you want to, do whatever you want. I think sometimes for probably a lot of people, at least in the United States, I think if you can cut down the cost of your lifestyle to the bare minimum, I think it'll make it a lot more possible for you to pursue full-time reselling. Generally, if you're getting stuff at thrift stores and yard sales and you don't get into like wholesale and warehouses and employees, I think most people are going to make around $30,000 to $50,000 a year after expenses and everything. And depending on where you live in the country, that may be good, that may be terrible, that may not be possible for you. If you live in California, it's pretty hard to make that in general, just with thrift prices, and you can't live on that anyway. But I think if you're in the Midwest or East Coast or somewhere like that, and you want to pursue this, I think the first step should be at least looking at your life and
Mhm.
seeing where you can find some extra savings. I definitely don't want you to sell your Tesla. I love it. I would love to get a Tesla of my own one
Dave
day, but
Ramsey, live like no one else, so later you
live
can live
like
like
no one
no one
else, man.
else.
Like
And then
you,
pay cash for Tesla, and it'll be a great YouTube video. I
yeah.
sold my Tesla 1 year ago and then bought it back for cash.
I'm
Guys,
picturing
I
the
gotta I
video.
gotta go pick
Like,
up my son from school, so I'm gonna leave a couple minutes early. But I love you so much, and keep the conversation going. I'll see you on the next one.
well, I want to wrap up with Joe here, but just picture. I'm just going to put this bug in here. Picture the YouTube series. Like I wanted to quit my job and do reselling, but I was in a place where it just would be really hard. So I made the very difficult decision to sell my Tesla, my like most prized possession in
Mhm.
life. Sold the Tesla. I got some cash for it. It was, yeah,
I still have
had
I
had
have a lot of money into my car. I've paid half of it down. So like I have money into the car, you know.
yeah. You could sell it and you would get a
Yeah.
check. You wouldn't, owe more money. And just that series, like starting, okay, I'm starting a full-time reseller. I had to make the hard decision to sell my Tesla. I got some cash for that. That's given us a nice little buffer in life, and I'm going after it. And I want to hit this reselling on YouTube hard. And within 12 to 18 months, I want to have enough cash saved up to buy my Tesla back.
Mhm.
So I'm making a sacrifice for the next 12 to 18 months of driving a Camry or driving a Civic or something like that. You know, and I think it'd be really cool from an audience perspective to see that you wanted this so bad that you were willing to sacrifice the most like your prized
Yeah.
possession. Like I'm assuming
Yeah.
that's it's probably the coolest thing you
Yeah.
own.
I
Like you're willing to sacrifice it
yeah.
temporarily, not
Forever,
forever,
yeah.
just temporarily, just to get the business
Yeah.
going.
I totally
I think
agree.
that'll
I was
really,
talking to my dad yesterday. And I'm like, Dad, all I need is $20,000, like to get the business going, like to have a chunk of change behind me, knowing that, okay, I got a year, maybe 2 years of backup pay just in case if anything happens. You never know with, COVID or something else, Um,
yeah,
I have that money to always know I'm going to pay for my bills, and I know I can make a bunch of money going thrifting or making more YouTube videos and doing stuff like that. Like, it's so tough to give away something that you earned, like you feel like you've earned, but like I don't have it paid off, so I don't really earn it yet, So
yeah,
just looking at it like that it's really tough. It's you're in a tough position. Like, and I think that's a great idea. Me and Drew were talking about that a while, like a way long time ago. Like, Joey, why don't you sell your Tesla? Like, nah, man. Like, I love it, but now I've been thinking about it, and I could buy a better Tesla, or I could save up a bunch of money and deck it out and like how I want to.
think about the opportunity. Like it's not irreplaceable.
Right.
It's a base
Yeah.
Tesla. You could, like I said, sell it temporarily, and then you can always buy another one exactly like
Right.
it. It's not like you're giving it up
Yeah.
forever. It's not like a family heirloom.
No, you're true. It's you're true to your word. Like it's so hard, but
It's tough,
in
man.
order to
And I'm not trying to put you on the spot or
no, no,
anything
no.
like that. I
I
just wanted
I
you
need
to think.
this because I'm at a point, Josh. I don't know what to do. Like I sit here and I'll sit in my room and I'm just like, bro, I'm in a tough spot. Like I just want to be like you guys. I want to be like everyone else, but I want to be myself first. And I just love reselling. I love making videos is like my passion, dude. Like just seeing how a
Mhm.
video just went viral by itself, like, not using your name in the title, but like I made a really cool title and a thumbnail that got put out to somebody and more people, and people are saying, "Wow, I really love your energy." Like that gives me goosebumps. Like I just love it. I just, you know, I want it so bad, Josh. And Drew. I know Drew's not here, but oh man, if I were to sell my car and make a series about it and just like buy like a Prius.
I sold my car. Let's see how fast I can buy it back,
Yeah.
or something like.
Wow.
I don't know, dude. It would really. I don't know. Like it's a decision for you and
Right. Yeah, Destiny.
uh, you just got to make it. You got to make the decision. You always talk about happiness.
Yeah.
Like obviously the Tesla brings you
Mhm.
happiness, but like if you like think about like delayed gratification, like sacrificing that happiness from the Tesla now to receive the happiness of
Mhm.
you know being self-employed,
Mhm.
not being having to do the podcast on your day
Right?
off,
I know,
and
man.
having
Like those are the little things in life. Like the other day I had off and I made a great YouTube video of me with the monster shoes on, throwing away those shape ups because they burned me. But
yeah
you know, when I was done with all that, I listed a couple items. I made that video, edited it, put it out. It was great. And my little brother, he's been wanting to play catch like with baseball and stuff. Like I could never do that if I was working. And
yeah
those little things right there just made my brother so happy. Like I want to do that with other people like subscribers or my family, just going like being able to pick my brother up from school. Like my brother would go
Mhm.
crazy if I picked him up, in my car, like, and all the little kids are like, "Wow," like, like, that makes me happy, like, for just my little brother to smile, or my
So
sisters, or
you could tell your brother you're gonna pick him up from school one day, and then you pull up in a
right.
Camry and be like, "Yo, what's up? I sold the Tesla.
I sold the Tesla. Check out my new Camry.
Hop in. I gotta open the door from the inside because the outside handle doesn't work."
Yeah, man. I feel like that would be awesome.
Like, it would think about, like, 5 years from now. Like, if you do this and it's
Yeah.
successful, 5 years from now being able to say, like, I had a Tesla, and I sold it because I saw the value in the long haul, like, where the value is gonna be in the long haul. Tesla's gonna go down in value every
Yeah.
year. But like starting your own business and pursuing this for yourself, even if it doesn't work, even if you do it for a
Mhm.
year and you just decide it's not for you, you can always, you can probably get a job at the post office again. I mean, they definitely are going to need help,
Mhm.
So I don't know. I mean, obviously there's other things to think about, health insurance and taxes
Right.
and all that stuff, but I just want to put a bug in your ear, man. I think it'd be a cool series. I'd definitely watch it.
Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of reseller videos, but I'd watch that
That's
one.
crazy. Josh, you're killing me. Like, guys, like, I don't want you to think like, oh, I'm a hype boy with the Tesla. I earned that. I really feel like I earned it, and I love that car. I'm not just saying it, because just to say it. I love my car. Just for me. It's not. I'm not like, oh my god, I got a Tesla. Like, I
Hmm.
love it. I just. But
It's a cool car,
it
man.
is, man.
I want one. Every time I see one, I'm like, that's nice.
Yeah, I feel like that would be good for me to like take a step back and be like, Joey, this is what you're missing out on, like a better future, a better, your happiness, like you said. I feel like it would be good for me, honestly.
Think about it.
Yeah,
Think about it. Talk about it with your
yeah.
girl, and we'll get an update of it next week in next week's
Cl-
podcast. We'll see where you are next week.
Cliffhanger. I love you so
Cliffhanger.
much.
Love you so much, guys. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Triple Thrift Podcast. Check us out on YouTube. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to that channel. We're close to 1,000 subscribers. If you guys like today's video, head on over there and give it a like on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for listening. We appreciate your time. You're the best. We'll catch you on the next one.